Hey guys, well, this is kind of a spur of the moment deal. I'm out in my backyard in my basement, and today in the scrap pile at work I found this little cast iron pan, and it's been left out in the weather and gotten kind of nasty. But I've always wanted to try electrolysis, so I come home and took the bottom off my shop vac because it's a pretty big container. It's gotta be, I don't know, shoot, I don't know how many gallons it is. It probably says on it somewhere, but it's a big one. So I took the top off and kind of cleaned it out as much as I could, and I dumped in some, I don't know, about maybe a cup or 2 cups of sodium carbonate, washing soda kind of stuff, and mix that around real good. I'm going to stick the pan in. The handle's not, the end of the handle isn't too bad, and I think I can get the whole thing in there, at least up to the handle. But I have an old lawnmower blade in there for a sacrificial. You hook the positive electrode to the sacrificial steel, negative electrode to the cast iron, and I'm going to wire it up with this welding rod and hang it on this piece of scrap board, and I think that might work. I've never done it before, and I really wasn't, set up. I haven't been thinking about doing this, but I just come home and figured out what the hell. Well, figured I'd bring it in here and show you the final setup, the way I got it going, and I can see it bubbling pretty darn good. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I'll try. Yeah, so anyway, basically I didn't have to hang the cast iron pan. I ended up using the wood to just keep the sacrificial steel, the steel that I don't care about. It's going to get eaten up or whatever happens to it. Just to keep that leaning over the cast iron but not touching, not falling in. And I suppose I could do a little bit better job. But anyway, took that old lawnmower blade and I added a filler tube for I think that came off my Bobcat. It was just a steel neck, went down to the fuel tank. When I replaced it, it's just a piece of steel tube and an old iron file. And actually I wasn't thinking they would bubble quite as much, but they're bubbling away better than the pan is right now. But I don't know if you guys can tell with all the glare, but the water is quite active. Everything's moving around pretty good. I can see bubbles and stuff coming off the pan, so I think it is working. It's just I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna let it go a couple hours and come back and check it. There's all kinds of little floaties floaties in there. I don't know if that's some of the sodium carbonate coming up, and I don't know what it is. Maybe I didn't do as good a job cleaning out that shop vac containers. I thought I did. But anyway, I'll check the charger. It's just a regular battery charger, an old Sears that I had down here. It's currently almost putting out 6 amps, so it's about maybe 5.5 amps, and I've got it on the 10 amp 12 volt setting. Yeah, so 5 amps, and I think it is going up. When I first started with just the lawnmower blade, it was way down, like almost 2 amps, so it wasn't putting much power in there. So I added a few more pieces of metal, and that seemed to raise the amperage up. I don't know why, but maybe surface area or something. But so I figured it's better that way, and I filled it up. I filled up the water level, so it's over that rusty little bit of the handle, but the handle won't quite fit under all the way. But I think it'll be all right. All the rust is underwater, so we'll just come back in a couple hours and see how it looks and see what's going on. I think the water, I can start to see the water changing colors, and so I think it's working. But I guess we'll find out. Kind of cool. I've always wanted to do this. Alright, so well, for the conclusion of this video, I'd bring you out here and show you the water is frothy and ugly. And I took the pan out probably, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, and took it in and rinsed it really good and did a real light scrub and put it back in. But I figured I want to show you guys on the video how well it came out, just with that little bit of time. It was like 2 hours in the juice, and so you can, I'm going to put it in the same video so you guys can back up if you want and check out how ugly it was compared to now. But here, let me undo the negative. That was oh shit. Oh, this is, oh boy. Anyway, try not to destroy the setup. I'll pull the pan out, let you all see what it, oh really well it turned out so far. There's still a little more left to go, so oh, I need about 4 more hands. But anyway, yeah, see there? The bottom came out really nice and smooth, and it's just right around the edges where it's got a little more crust. I don't know, maybe just a few more hours, but the bottom's sweet looking, no pits or nothing, so I think it's doing its job. Okay, well, I want you to check that out, but I think I'll leave it going a couple more hours, probably pull it out, rinse it off, and or maybe I'll just leave it in all night and turn the power off when I go to bed. And tomorrow when I get home from work, I'll take it out. Maybe I'll let it run for 5 or 10 minutes to kind of loosen up the crud. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to try to let it run long enough to get rid of some of that scale just in the corner. And I hope it turns out as nice as the bottom, because the bottom just turned out really sweet. But yeah, go back in the video and check out how ugly that thing was when I put it in there. Okay, take care. Try not to get electrocuted here.